Starting route to Barnes & Noble.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie and this is going to be a fall vlog. Very excited to start embracing the coziness of fall. I've decorated the house and I've read one fall book so far. But yeah, I'm super excited that it is September, it's fall, it's gonna get a little chilly. I'm gonna focus on kind of calming down, enjoying the slower lifestyle of fall in this vlog. I'm currently reading Wildcard by Elsie Silver. I think I'm like 55% of the way in, and I did just pull up to Barnes & Noble. I'm gonna go buy the Barnes & Noble exclusive version that has the art in the front and maybe another book. I don't want to spend a ton of money, but I do have a $20 gift card, so Wildcard is free, so we'll see what I can find. I really want to buy a copy of What Makes You Happy, but I cannot find it anywhere. Nowhere has it, which is so weird because it was released by a publisher and kind of made a big deal. I feel like it's on a lot of people's TBRs and no one can find it in the wild. And Amazon says it won't ship until like November, so I'm kind of confused. I don't know. Yeah, I have the day off of work today. I have a lot of PTO left that I need to use or lose. So I took the day off. It's a Thursday. I did have a doctor's appointment. That's why I'm in the town that I'm in. And there's a Barnes & Noble here, so obviously I have to go here before I go home. So I'm excited to look around, shop a little, and I'm not gonna get a coffee because I wanna get one a little bit closer to home and maybe sit and read. So let's go look around Barnes & Noble. We got the book, and good thing because I forgot my Kindle, so I will be reading this physically in the coffee shop, but I desperately need caffeine and food, so let's go get a coffee and some breakfast. they finally had some fall stuff out at my Walmart, so I picked some up as you saw. Really excited about it. And my final stop before I go home and read is my favorite free little library, which is just a couple blocks away. So let's see if she has anything good. I did bring some books to donate, so let's go. Okay, as you saw, I picked up A Slow Burning Fire by Paula Hawkins. I've seen this around and have not read it. I haven't read her other book. I think it's Girl on the Train. Have not read that, but I'm trying to build up my thriller collection in my home library, so I grabbed this. And funny enough, I donated a thriller. I donated The Paris Apartment. I never read it. I got it from Book of the Month, but I heard such bad things and I didn't love her other book that I read. So I'm just dodging a bullet and donating it. It's a great copy, never read, never used, Book of the Month hardcover. So someone will love it. It's just probably not gonna be me. So I donated that, grabbed Slow Fire Burning. So finally it's almost noon and we're headed home. Okay, we're back home and situated. Everything's put away. I cleaned my new cup. Put a little apple Olipop in here, so good. And I just wanted to sit down and kind of talk about my current read with you before I sit down and read some more. So currently, like I said, Wild Side by Elsie Silver, the fourth and final book in the Rose Hill series. If you don't want to know anything about this, skip ahead. I can leave like a timestamp of where I'm done talking about it. I'm going to give slight plot spoilers because I just want to talk about like the main trope of this book and why I'm not loving it as much as I thought I would. This book is a ex-boyfriend's dad trope. So Gwen, the main character, she's 26, I think, and she met this man at the airport. He's 39 and handsome, and they end up having to spend the night in the airport because their flight gets canceled because of a snowstorm. So they get stuck overnight, they hit it off. He's like really grumpy at first, and she kind of asserts herself, sits at his table at the bar because there's no other room, and kind of forces him to like chat with her and have a margarita with her. He's definitely not a margarita guy, so that was like kind of funny, like just picturing this like burly bearded man drinking a margarita at the bar to appease this like blonde younger girl. She gives him her number and he never texts her, so she thinks, but he does, but in his like staying up all night stupor, he mixed up some of the numbers. So he texted her like 4 times and just thought she was ghosting him, but she just thought he never texted her because she never got the messages, so just kind of like a miscommunication there. And they both can't stop thinking about each other, but whatever, they must move on. So Gwen meets this NHL hockey star and they start dating. Fast forward, Bash, the male main character of this book, his name is Sebastian, but he goes by Bash. So Bash finds out at 39 years old that he is the father of the NHL superstar, and he never knew. So his kid is in his 20s and he never knew because the girl he got pregnant at 15 never let him know and just like broke up with him and left town because she had rich parents and they just like put her in a different school and like they never told Bash about the child. He finds out about it now, and of course, he goes to a birthday party for his son, and his girlfriend is Gwen. And it's like this whole big thing, and Gwen like breaks up with him on the spot, finds out that like Bash did text her and whatever. So whatever, it's like this whole big thing. But I guess my thing with the trope is that I thought it was like his son that he knew and loved and raised his whole life and like whatever, because that makes it more tricky, right? Like if it's your dad that's been in your life forever and he goes off and hooks up with your ex-girlfriend, like that makes the trope a little more messy and a little more, I guess, like fun as a reader. I don't know. For me to find out that like he barely knows this kid and he's pushing off this connection that he has with Gwen for this kid who is honestly kind of a brat and was like spoiled and rich kid, and like now he's a hockey star, so he's like talking about buying a Lamborghini or whatever. And like if he grew up with Bash as his dad, he would have been a completely different person, because Bash is like, he's a grumpy guy, but in his heart he's like really caring and generous. And I just think that his son would be a better person if he was in his life. But I guess, I don't know, to me, and it's a book, it's not a real life situation, it's not my life, so it's like I guess I just don't understand why, you know, I'm like almost 60% of the way into this book and they're still like fighting this connection for the son. And it's like, he'd get over it. Like if you explain to him that you met Gwen before they even dated, they briefly dated, like they weren't like a serious couple, and like she broke up with him as soon as she realized that it was his dad and that she had more feelings for his dad than him, and like they're not even close. Like I don't know, that's like kind of frustrating me. I do think that they kind of like get together more really soon, because I did kind of like peak I did peak a little bit, so I do think that that irritation for me is going to subside pretty quickly. But I don't know, I guess for me it's just not good enough reason for them not to like even hang out. Like they kind of avoid each other and then they'll have like a little moment and then they regress and like hide from each other again. And I don't know, that's kind of bugging me. If you read this series, Crazy Clyde is a big character in this book, and he is so funny and so sweet, and I'm glad that he's getting more airtime in this book, and he's like the third biggest character in this book, and I love that. And yeah, it's fun to be in this world. I really do love this world. I gave the first book 3 stars, the second book 4 stars, the third book 5 stars, and then this is a question mark still. So it's a really good series for me. Elsie Silver is like an auto read author for me, but she's not my favorite. You know, like I give her books usually a 3 or a 4. I do have Wildside was a 5 star and Reckless was a 5 star. I have a 5 star in Chestnut Springs and a 5 star in Rose Hill, and then the rest are between 3 and 4 stars, which is great. Like that's a great average, but she's not like one of my top 5 authors by any means. But I do really like this series and I'm liking the book a lot, like I really am. But for me, I just want to like shake them and be like, hey, if you like each other, just go for it. Like your son will forgive you. If he wants to be in your life, he'll get over it. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but I just wanted to give that. But it's small town, ex-boyfriend's dad, grumpy sunshine. She's a little bit curvier. She's a yoga teacher, and she talks about like chakras and stuff a lot because she's kind of like a hippie yoga teacher. Not too much, but it does kind of get a little annoying, but it's not like nauseating or anything like that. That's kind of the update on Wildcard and where I'm at, and I'm excited to dive in and read a few chapters. I think I'm gonna set a timer and read for an hour, and I'll check in after I've read a little bit. I just read for an hour and I am, I think, like 70% of the way into the book now. I have about 100 pages left, so I definitely want to finish that tonight. It should probably take me about 2 more hours to finish that up. So, and it's getting good. So excited about that, but I did want to take a little break and open an Amazon package. I got 2 books that released on the 9th. I have an Amazon gift card, so I purchased these books from Amazon instead of like Barnes & Noble today or anywhere else. And one of the books has different sprayed edges at different stores, and I liked Amazon's more than Barnes & Noble, which I actually showed the Barnes & Noble ones in the earlier clips. But getting into it, the first book is the one I'm talking about, and it's Picture Perfect by Tessa Bailey. These are the sprayed edges. I just think the red is really cute. This is the 4th book in her Big Shots series, and I actually got the arc of this and I have it on my Kindle, and I got about halfway through and then I just wasn't feeling it, so I set it down. So I do want to pick it back up. I think I'm just gonna kind of like skim the first 50% because I kind of remember what goes on, and then just pick it up and finish it off. But this series is really fun. Tessa Bailey isn't an author I take super seriously by any means, but her books are fun and light. They kind of like shock you sometimes. So yeah, I'm excited to pick this back up and finish it. And I own the rest of the series, so I knew I wanted this on my shelves. And then the second and final book that I got from Amazon is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. And this will be the second book that I've read of hers. I do own Out of the Woods on my shelves, but I haven't gotten to it yet. I've only read Out on a Limb, loved it. So I'm excited to read this. I think the couple is so cute. He's like all tatted with kind of a mullet. And then she kind of gives like 90s vibes. So it's very fall, and I really don't know too much about it. I think it's like small town, and that's really all I know. I don't know. I've heard it's good. Heard it's a little sexy. So, little Amazon haul. Well, there were a lot of good books that came out this week. Wild Card, these 2. I was really interested in Ghost Business by Jen DeLuca. I loved the first book in that series, Haunted Ever After, but I've heard it's not great, the second book, and I've heard things about the male main character that I don't think I'm gonna like. So I saw it today at Barnes & Noble. I didn't pick it up. I don't even know if I'm gonna attempt to read it this fall. It was on my list of books I wanted to read this fall, but we'll see if I get to it or not. But these 2 are high up there, and Wild Card was very high up there. So I'm gonna finish that today, and then one of these books will be my next read. So we'll see what I'm in the mood for. Checking in. Good morning. I finished Wild Card. Kev's here with me to talk about how we liked Wild Card. I fell asleep last night with like 3 chapters left in the book, and at like a very intense moment I was like, I cannot keep my eyes open, and I know if I start this next chapter I'm not gonna finish it and I'm not gonna remember, so I'd have to go back and read it anyway, so I just went to bed. So I read the last 2 chapters in the epilogue that I had left. And okay. Okay, I'm giving this 4 stars. I really enjoyed myself. I really like the series. I like Elsie Silver. I really like these characters together and like how they gelled together and everything like that. But there was just like something missing for me. I think that I'm not like obsessed with this. I'm not in love with this as much as I was like the 3rd book in this series. I couldn't put it down. I basically read it in a day, and I loved them together, and I like had to know what happened. And I mean, I read this relatively quickly. It came out on Tuesday and it's Friday, and I've finished it, but I don't know, I just wasn't like in love with them as much as I wanted to be. I was really excited about this. I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I read it the week that it came out, and you know, I'm gonna read anything that Elsie Silver writes. There's just like something missing for me. I don't know if I wanted a little more depth. I feel like maybe the pacing was off for me. I don't know. I kind of hate that it's not a 5-star because I really wanted it to be, but I still recommend it. I recommend the series, and I really did enjoy this book. But yeah, something was just missing for me, and that's okay. 4 stars is like a great rating for me. Like, I give a lot of books 4 stars, so it's definitely my comfort rating. And then 5 stars is like immaculate vibes, loved it, would probably reread it in the future, or just like really connected with it. And 4 stars is like, I really enjoyed myself, I recommend it. It just wasn't quite there for me. And then 3 stars, I still enjoyed it. Like, I still had a fun time, but it just, there were probably multiple things missing for me. But I rarely give 1 or 2 stars. I think it's like, I know what I'm gonna like, so I pick what I think I'm gonna like. And then also, I've gotten better at DNFing, so if I'm not feeling it, I'll DNF it or save it for later, and not put myself through that. But I have read some books that have been 2 stars that I don't recommend. but yeah, mostly 4 and 5 stars. So really like this. Now the dilemma is, what do I pick up next? I want to read another new release, and I got these 2 in the mail I showed you yesterday. And like I said, I've read half of this, so I feel like I could easily be done with this in a couple days, but I'm really leaning towards people watching. I don't know what it is. I just really want to read this and maybe even like annotate it, because I just feel like it's gonna be really like emotional and sexy and fun, and I don't know. I really like the cover art of this, and it just makes me want to read it. So I don't know. I'm not going to pick up anything right now, so I have a little bit to decide, but it's a tough decision. A lot of good books came out this week. I just want to keep up on the new releases so bad, but they're just coming out so frequently that it's so hard to keep up with all of these books. So I will check in when I pick up a new book. Hello, happy Saturday. I've been dealing with some cramps, so I took an everything shower this morning and it was amazing, so don't mind the wet hair. But I just wanted to pop on really quickly and update that I started people watching last night and I got 50 pages in. I'm on chapter 5 and I am very interested to see how I feel about this. I did go on Goodreads before I started to kind of see what people were saying, and I feel like I've heard good things about this on Instagram, but on Goodreads, there's so many 1 and 2 star ratings, like 5 in a row that were 1 or 2 stars. I saw the word problematic being used in reviews, and I was like, oh. So I don't know, I haven't heard like really anything like revolting about this. So I'm kind of interested to see why people are rating it low, and if I will rate it low or if I'll love it. Like, I have no idea. But I will say 50 pages in, Milo, the mailman character, I don't know if I like him or not so far. Obviously, it's very surface level, and he is going back near his hometown. His brother and his brother's wife just moved into a house, and him and his sister have been like summoned by his brother to come and live with them for like 2 months or something. I don't really know. His brother's wife is pregnant with their 6th child, which is kind of crazy. And I don't know if they kind of like told them to come so they could help out with the kids because she's due in like a month or something. So there's more to come on that. And then Prue, the female main character, her full name is Prudence. I'm not going to call her that. I'm going to call her Prue. And that's like what she goes by in the chapter headers. So Prue lives in like a guest house on her parents' property, and they own like the grocery store in this same small town that Milo is just coming to live for 2 months. And her mother, unfortunately, is suffering with dementia, so she's helping her dad with her mom. And like, funnily enough, Milo knows Prue's mom because she was his art teacher in school. Like I said, he's from the town over, like that's where he grew up. Their first encounter was Milo came to the store and it was closed because her mom was having a bad day with her dementia. Prue was like, yeah, sorry, we're closed. And then mom came out and was calling for her to come back inside or whatever. And Milo was like, oh, Mrs. Welch, is that you? And obviously the mom didn't know what was going on for a second, but then she was like, oh, Milo, is that you? And she was like all confused, and like that interaction confused her. And then Prue got sad because her mom doesn't even remember her most of the time. Like her mom calls her by her aunt's name. So it was just kind of like an emotional, like very intense first meeting, and like Milo feels bad about it. And we're just gonna like probably see how Prue feels about it now. But yeah, I don't know. The first chapter, I wasn't loving it. And then the next couple chapters, sorry, my dog is taking the longest drink of water. Good job. Good job. So, yeah, but then I started to get more into it, and I'm gonna definitely get some reading done today and see where it takes us. Now that I've seen like people's opinions are so polarizing on this, I'm very interested to see how I feel about it. That is the quick little update on people watching. Hi, hello, it is Monday afternoon. Wanted to do a reading check-in. I think this is going to be my last check-in before I finish the book, because I don't want this vlog to be too long, and I'm not doing anything like fun for the next couple days. And I honestly really want to finish this book maybe even tonight, because You're Next by Tate James comes out, I guess tonight at midnight, but I won't be reading it tonight at midnight, but comes out tomorrow. So I am halfway into people watching, and I kind of have mixed feelings a little bit. I'm liking it, and like the banter is cute. It's very like lighthearted between the two characters right now, and like very like bantery and cute dialogue. They're just getting to know each other, and they've just kissed for the first time. But then there's also this overarching deeper aspect of Milo doesn't get along with his parents, and then Prue's mother is dealing with dementia. But overall, it's very like upbeat and silly. I'm liking that, but I also don't feel super connected to them because of that. And then also, I don't know that I love how Milo is being portrayed as like this playboy, doesn't settle down. He's been with like 200 people and all of that. And then Prue is a virgin. So I just feel like it's very different. And obviously like that can work in a relationship, but I don't know. And now like they just came up with this plan to be friends, and he's gonna give her spicy lessons. So they're gonna start hooking up and everything. And obviously feelings are going to come about. And I'm sure they end up together because it's a romance. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn. I'm excited to see where it's gonna go in the latter 50%, because he's a sweet guy, and so I feel like it's gonna get a lot cuter. The next time you'll see me sitting down talking about the book will be to give you final thoughts and a rating. You might see some B-roll from now until then, but the next update will be the final one. So stay tuned. Hello, I'm back here talking to you, so you know what that means. I finished people watching, and I have a little bit to say on it, and then I'll give you my rating, and then I'm gonna get off this vlog. But okay, I've kind of like toyed between a 4 and a 3 star, just because like it was fine, it was good, and I like, I got through it relatively quickly, and I also read this full thing physically, which I usually pretty much read on my Kindle 90% of the time, so it was kind of nice to like read a whole physical book. I will say that the vibes are a little weird in this book, especially regarding sex. And like the first time Milo and Prue meet, he's like picturing her naked and like making crude comments, and just the fact that he like had so many partners, 200 plus, and she was a virgin, and like he would just talk about how like innocent and cute she was, and like I don't know, like they're like, I think he's 4 years older, but they're like 24 and 28. Like it's not like creepy in that sense, but like I don't know, just how sex was handled was like very kind of like predatory and creepy, and I just didn't really like those vibes. And then it went from them getting to know each other a little bit, sex, and then like serious topics, and then they just like made up and it was over. And I don't know, so like the pacing was kind of weird. I feel like nothing happened. I don't know, I don't know. I also don't want to give spoilers because it's a newer release and I just don't want to give spoilers, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, it's very different from Out on a Limb. I feel like Out on a Limb was so sweet and wholesome, and this is the complete opposite. And like, I'm not a prude. Like, I've read dark romance and enjoyed it. Like, I am so excited to start You're Next by Tate James tonight, and that's a wide choose dark romance suspense kind of book, and I love those. So like, it's not that I can't handle it. It was just kind of creepily done. Kind of gave me the ick a few times, just how things were said and described, and I don't know. If you've read this book, let me know what you thought of it below, because I'm very curious. The Goodreads reviews are very polarizing, and either like 1 star or 5 stars, it seems. So I don't know, I'm gonna put mine up as a 3-star, and I'm happy with that. I had a good time reading it. Like, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it, and it kind of gave me the ick. So 3 stars it is. But yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and this vlog kind of got me back into filming and really excited to make more fall content. So stick around and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!